crossing, on every street, in every yard, the scars of battle are apparent. And today we followed in the footsteps of Ukrainian nationalists as they turned people's homes into firing ranges. As Ukrainian troops retreated deeper into the city, they would, in every single residential building, they would break down the doors into apartments to set up new firing positions, again drawing fire on these apartments, on themselves, leaving people with nowhere to live. Tens of thousands of civilians now live in the basements of their apartment blocks. It's warmer for one, but also much safer than upstairs. Here's another apartment in a residential building that Ukrainian nationalists set up a firing post in. All over the place, bullets, empty shell casings, but also here a primed grenade launcher. It has been primed, as I said. It may have malfunctioned, but it would be very dangerous to touch it or disturb it. In any case, this is a job for sappers. The higher you are, the better the view, the farther you can see and shoot, even if you have to climb over the heads of civilians.
Были вот здесь в 9-этажках националисты, по верхним этажам прятались, стреляли, снайпера сидели.
А вы их просили вот уйти здесь жилой массив?
Нет, лично я их не видел. Люди видели, как они бегали, прятались перебежками. Такое было.
Страшно, мы в шкафу сидели. Богу молились каждую секунду, потому что снаряды могли в любой момент нам в квартиру залететь, разорваться. Непонятно, куда они стреляли. Мы шли, на пути никого не встретили. Ни солдат, там, ни ДНР, ни российских, никого.
Everywhere you'll find magazines, unexploded shells, bullets, even grenades that failed to detonate. And occasionally the vials, syringes and peels that fueled nationalist regiments. Here is another apartment broken into by Ukrainian nationalists. They had a great view out of this window, and they set up a firing position here. A variety of calibers, empty shell casings, but also, as in many places that we visited, empty syringes, apparently the end of a vial here. No idea what this was, but in many of these places, apartments where they were stationed, where they fired from, there have been drugs that were seized by the Donetsk police that have cleaned up the place after them to an extent. But we know for a fact that Ukrainian nationalists are heavily dependent on amphetamines. This is something we had seen in Syria, in Iraq, whether it was ISIS fighters or Syrian rebels. They would take these amphetamines and they could keep going without sleep, without rest, without food, drink or water for days and days. The population of Mariupol was always seen as pro-Russian by Ukrainian nationalists. For years they tried to beat and bully loyalty into the locals. But that went both ways. The civilians here never understood the fanatical habits of Azov and other nationalist battalions.
Они там все обколотые, вот, там ритуалы у них какие-то были.
Ритуалы?
Факельные шествия у них там, поэтому пятачку, там Союз, парк Веселка.
The end result was utter disregard for civilians among nationalists. They never saw them as equals, as fellow countrymen and women, but as fodder, human shields, expendable bodies for the glory of Ukraine. Orad Gazdiev, RT from Mariupol.